I own a house that is between 129 and 114 years old. I love old houses for so many different reasons, but this video is not about old houses. It's actually about new builds. I'm so bored of people chatting about new builds. I bought a house at 21 years old, so it was such a rogue decision for me not to go for a new build. And it was definitely something I personally considered because there are so many benefits of going for a new build.
Everybody loves to argue about new construction homes. Some people say they are cheap, rushed, and not worth it. Other people say they are the easiest way to get a clean and move-in ready home. But the truth is somewhere in the middle. For those of you who don't know, my name is Kay, giving you the real keys to homeownership so that your first buy is the right one. So, by the end of this video, I want you to be able to answer one question. Is new construction really worth it for you? Let's get into it. I actually agree with a lot of what she said here, because sometimes people act like new construction is just automatically terrible, and I don't agree with that. Every type of home has its trade-offs. And an older home can have charm, character, larger trees, a better location, and even a history already attached to it. But it can also come with older plumbing, electrical, and HVAC issues, roof and foundation problems, and just many more repairs and maintenance that can hit you right after closing.
Firstly, people say new builds come with loads of snagging issues, which can be true, but also they're under warranty. Most new builds will come with like a 10, 15, even 20-year warranty. So if anything goes wrong, you can just claim on that warranty and it will literally be sorted out. Subsidence, cracks, water damage, you're basically covered.
A new construction home can give you a fresh start. New appliances, a modern layout, an open kitchen, builder warranties, no previous owner, and less updating that you would have to do up front. And for some buyers, that's valuable, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, busy parent, or someone who just doesn't want to move into a house and immediately have to start fixing everything. And don't get that confused with perfection, because new construction homes can still have problems.
The next thing is incentives. So many developers, because it's so competitive, will pay for your stamp duty or pay for your moving costs or other associated costs with moving, like your conveyancing, etc., etc. That can literally save you thousands of pounds, like actual thousands. Another thing is the appeal. Like, a lot of people like that a property has never been lived in. Also, brand new appliances, which is obviously insane for like reliability and just knowing that you're not going to have to replace them for quite a while. People always say new builds have such a lack of character, which, let's be honest, is true, but that is because they haven't been lived in. Like, give people a chance to decorate them and make them their own and make their own little extensions and change the windows and all these things that people do when they own a home. The reason they all look the same, the reason they lack character, is because they've literally just been built and plopped there. Like, give it 10, 15, 20 years and all of these places will really have their own character. Now, obviously, I don't have a new build. I'm sitting in a house that is very old.
I also agree with her about the part of making the house your own. That's the fun part. Some people say new builds lack character, and honestly, they do. But depending on how you look at it, that can also be a good thing. Because when a home has not been lived in, you're not working around somebody else's style, colors, or their versions, or their updates of what the home should feel like. You get to create that. You get to decide what memories are made there and what the home is going to become. And for some people, that blank slate is not boring. It's peaceful and it's a fresh start. And I don't think that buyers should feel bad for wanting that.
There are reasons for me not choosing a new build. Like, there's a lot of reasons why I wanted an older property personally, but this is not what this video is about. This video is basically to say, if you have a new build and all you see are people complaining about them, saying how bad they are, etc., just ignore it, because if you're on the property ladder and you have a place to call your own, that is such a big thing to be so proud of. And most people who say these things about new builds probably don't even have their own home, so ignore it. As long as you're happy and you love your home and you know why you chose what you chose, then that's fine. Like, I've just sat here and said all of these things about new builds. I know why I personally didn't choose a new build. Like, it just wasn't right for me for a number of different reasons that I'm not going to go into. But new builds for the right sort of people are perfect. And yeah, like, just don't let people rain on your parade, okay? People are miserable. Stand with the new builds.
Everybody has an opinion. Some people think new construction has no character. Some think older homes are too much work. Others say you should only buy in certain neighborhoods. Other people say you should wait. Some think you should buy now. But at the end of the day, all that matters is that you're the one that has to live there. You're the one that has to pay for it, and you have to maintain it. So you have to choose what works for you and not try to impress all these other people. One benefit of new construction that I want to add is predictability. With a new build, you usually know the age of everything, the HVAC and the roof and all of the plumbing and things. You also have the timeline of all of the builder warranties that you get. And if you ask the right questions, because you're getting in on the ground floor, you can have a clearer idea of what the neighborhood plan is, future phases, HOA, taxes, and what will still be being built around you. And that matters. I don't want this video to become new builds are good or bad. But the better question is, what kind of property are you more comfortable with dealing with? Because no house is perfect. An older home is going to have age-related issues, and a newer home is going to have construction quality issues. And a newer home may come with builder delays, smaller lots, HOAs, or some surprise costs later. So when people ask me, is new construction worth it? I always want to know what they're comparing it to. Worth it compared to what? Compared to an older home that needs repairs? Compared to renting another year? Compared to reselling a home in a better location? Compared to stretching your budget just because the house is brand new? That answer is going to change depending on the buyer, and that's why I don't like to just give blanketed advice. Because what is a smart move for one family may be a stressful mistake for another. For example, if you're someone who wants a move-in ready home, you have enough savings left after closing, you've gone through all of the inspections that you needed to, you understand taxes, and the neighborhood makes long-term sense for you, then new construction could be a good option. But if you're buying at the top of your budget, skipping inspections and assuming that everything is going to be perfect and built correctly because it's a newer home, and trusting everything that the builder tells you, that's where things can get risky. So yes, I agree that new builds can be overhated, but I also think that sometimes buyers can be too trusting just because the house is new. And this next clip is a perfect example of why brand new does not always mean problem free.
So about a year and a half ago, I bought a brand new house. It's like a dream home for me, you know, and little did I know how it would ruin my life. This is not normally how I look or sound. I have been poisoned by my house. My story is so crazy, everything I've experienced with this new build. But if I could share something with you, is that watch the process of your new build and check your AC by your AC guy, not theirs. My house has mold in it. I am so sick here. I'm stuck in this house. I have almost a 9% interest rate, and $3,000 of my mortgage goes to interest every month. My house, they forgot to put the vapor wrap or barrier wrap in it. My AC was installed wrong, oversized unit with exposed holes everywhere. My whole house was built with moldy lumber. Every night, I sleep on my couch. These are my couches. I'm sick of it. I can't sleep in any of the rooms because I can't breathe. My throat hurts every day. I have the most insane symptoms every day from the mold exposure. I find myself getting off the couch to go outside to get fresh air because I can't breathe the air in here anymore. I get to a point where I can't handle it. I would have never thought this would be me. It could be anybody. It's actually really common with a lot of these new builds. They just throw them up so quick. And they do such a crappy job installing the AC. I mean, you're doomed if your AC is oversized for your space because mold will start to grow in your house. Needless to say, through this whole horrible experience, the builders have tried to cover it all up, remediating and covering it up. We found the mold again today, and I'm suing my builders.
Now, this is heavy, and I'm going to be careful here because I'm not a doctor or her attorney, and I also don't know every detail of this situation. But I do think that her story brings up something that buyers need to hear. A brand new home can still have serious issues. New does not mean perfect, or that you're safe from mistakes, or that no one cut corners. New does not mean that the home was built with the same level of care and respect that you would have gave it just because it looks beautiful on the outside. And that is what scares me about how some buyers approach new construction homes. They walk into the model home, see the pretty kitchen, all of the beautiful amenities and things. The builder starts throwing the incentives at them and giving them all these great options and choices that they can take. And the buyer just kind of turns their brain off and will say, you know, because the home is new, I don't need to do any due diligence. I don't need to worry about everything because it's all brand new. But that's not always true. A new home is still built by people, and people make mistakes. Things can be rushed, missed, installed wrong. Materials can be left out in the weather. Drainage can be wrong. HVAC system sizes can be wrong. That was the case in her instance. And now she has mold growing in her house. And sometimes those problems can't be seen by the visible eye when you do your final walkthrough and things like that. This is why I strongly believe that new construction buyers should get an inspection. And not just one inspection if you can help it. Depending on where you are in the process, you may want a pre-drywall inspection, a final inspection, and sometimes even an inspection before your builder warranty is about to expire. Because once the walls are closed up, you can't see those things anymore. And I know some people will say, but the city already inspected it. That does not mean you should skip your own inspection. City inspections and private inspections are not the same thing. The city is checking for basic code requirements. Your private inspector is there to help you understand the condition of the home that you're buying. And those are two very different things. Now, let's talk about the AC part because she specifically brought it up in her story and her experience with her new build home. A lot of buyers do not think about the HVAC system until it stops working. But the AC system is a really big deal, especially in places like Texas where AC is a necessity. If the system is not installed correctly, sized correctly, draining correctly, or ventilating correctly, that can create real problems in the home. And I'm not saying that you as the buyer need to become an HVAC expert, but I am saying if you're concerned about it, bring someone in who can look at it for you. Have your own professional look at it. Ask questions about it. Ask where the drain line is. Ask about the moisture. Ask about the airflow. Ask if the system size makes sense for the amount of house that you're buying. And ask if there are signs of poor installation. Because it is better to ask those questions before you close as opposed to after, and now that's your responsibility to deal with. I also want to speak to the part where she said she feels stuck, because I understand that feeling. It sounds like whenever she bought her house, she said her interest rate is 9% and $3,000 of her payment go towards the interest. That's a lot of money, and I know it can feel like you're trapped. If you try to sell, you may not have enough equity. If the market has shifted, you may feel trapped. And if you have kids, which I think I heard a baby in the background, moving may feel even harder. But I want to say this, if you see this or anybody else who may be dealing with this situation, if you truly believe that your house is making you and your children sick, you got to get out of there. Your first priority is your safety. And I'm not saying that casually. I know moving is expensive. I know selling can be hard, and I know legal situations take a long time. I heard you say that this was your dream home. I know nobody wants to buy it and then have to leave it, but a house payment is not worth your health. And a house is supposed to shelter you, not harm you. So in a situation like this, I would want someone not to focus so much on how much you're paying and to really think about the full risk that you're taking here. Is there any way that you could stay with a family member for a few months? Can you talk to your insurance company and see if there's anything that they can cover to get it fixed? Are you documenting your symptoms and your doctor's visits and taking pictures of the things that are happening in the home for your case? And maybe even try speaking with your lender or your servicer to see if a modification or something can be done if it does become financially impossible to handle. I am not saying that every option will be easy. All I'm saying is you need options and you need documentation. Because if something's wrong with your home, you don't just want a bunch of phone calls and he said, she said. You want it written down. That way you can provide it to the courts. And I'm sure your attorney has told you that. But for anyone else, if you don't document it, it didn't happen. For the buyers who have not bought just yet, this is why you don't skip your due diligence. And I'm not saying that she did because I don't know if she got an inspection or not. But this is a reason to get an inspection, especially if you're buying a new construction home. If you can bring your own professional in to inspect the home at the different phases. You're not being difficult. You're being an informed buyer that's being careful about what they're about to sign their name to, a responsibility that you're going to have to take care of. Being careful before you buy is a lot easier than being overwhelmed after you've closed on that home. So when we put all these clips together, this is what I want you to understand. New construction is not automatically bad, but it's also not automatically better because it's new. Every home has its trade-offs and it's gonna come with its issues. So instead of asking, is new construction worth it? I want you to specifically ask, is this new construction home worth it for me? Excitement is good and you should be excited about your home. But excitement cannot be the only thing leading your decision. You need numbers, inspections, questions, patience, a plan, and you also need people in your corner who are willing to tell you the truth, even if it slows you down. Because the right home should not just look good on closing day, but it should be good for you as long as you're in there. At the end of the day, is new construction worth it? And the answer I would give is that it can be. But only if you understand what you're really buying. You're not just buying the new cabinets and fresh paint. You're buying the builder's quality, the communication, the timelines, the warranty process, and you're buying the responsibility of that home and that location after closing. A new construction home can be a blessing, but it needs to be researched and you need to ensure that it makes sense for your life. If you're watching this and you're not quite ready to talk to anyone just yet, that's okay. I created a free home buyer roadmap to help you build a strong foundation before you started on the home buying process. It walks you through the basics, what to think about, and what you need to take into consideration before you even start looking at your numbers and going to look at houses. That way, even if you are in the learning stage, you're not starting from scratch. Now, if you're ready to sit down and have a conversation about if new construction, resale, or staying put for a little bit is right for you, schedule a consultation with me because I do offer one-on-one consultations where we'll go over your goals and your plans so that we can get you in a home that's perfect for you. The link for the both of those will be in the description below. If you're not ready for either one of those things and just want to continue building your knowledge, be sure to check out these next 2 videos. Keep watching the channel and let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Remember, when you know better, you definitely buy smarter. Until next time, see you in the next one.